everybody, it's Hillary. I know we usually think of gardening as an outdoor activity, but since we're all staying indoors, I wanted to show you a way to bring greening and growing into your home. Today, I'm going to show you a way that you can regrow certain vegetables with no soil and with materials that are easy to find in your house. Here's what you'll need. First, you're going to need some glasses, jars, or containers. Truly, anything can work as long as it holds water. That's the second thing you're going to need. Water. Nothing special, just from the tap. The last thing you're going to need is some vegetables that still have their roots or base intact. Today, I am using scallions. And generally when you buy a bunch of scallions, you can see the roots, that's what these are, they're still on the plant. So that's a good sign. The other thing I'm going to use is this little head of lettuce. Now, lettuce, usually we don't see the roots coming out of the bottom, but when the farmer harvested this, they cut the roots off. So if I put this in water, I'm hoping that roots will regrow and that'll help give the plant energy to grow more leaves. Now, you're not going to put this whole thing in water. You're going to generally use the tops of your scallions to cook. Now, when you or an adult are cutting these scallions, you're going to want to leave 2 to 3 inches on the bottom with the roots intact. So I'm going to cut them now. I'm going to use the tops of these for something delicious later. And I am left with these roots. Now, this part's easy. I'm going to take some water. I'm going to pour it in the glass. And I am going to put these scallions right in there. Now, something important is, I actually have a little bit too much water. I'm going to pour some out. You don't want too much water because you don't want the tops of the scallions to be underwater. You only want your roots to be sitting in water. Otherwise, the tops are going to drown. They're not going to have a chance to sprout. Now, this doesn't look like much, but let me show you what happens after just 3 days. After 3 days, the roots of my scallions have grown a little bit longer, and look at these fresh green tops that are growing out. These I'm gonna eat again. I'm gonna let these grow for a few more days and we'll check back and see how those are growing. You can also use a head of lettuce to do this. This part is an experiment for me. So again, when I cut off the leaves of this lettuce that I'm gonna eat later, I'm gonna leave about 2 inches of the base intact. So I'm gonna leave this knob here and I'm gonna cut the lettuce. So I'm left with this sort of lettuce nub. You can see where it's cut. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the scallions. We are going to put some water in a jar. And we are going to rest the base in the water. Notice how the bottom is in water, but I leave the top in air so it can grow just like the scallions. We only want the base submerged in water. And I'm gonna leave this for a few days and see if the leaves on the top grow back. Now, if the only container that you have is a little bit too big for the lettuce bottom to rest in water without the leaves going totally under, I have a trick for you. What you can do is take some toothpicks and gently put them in the side of your lettuce base. I like to use 4 and go around the sides so that it's gonna have even support. So I'm gonna add my toothpicks. So if you can see, I've got 4 toothpicks, and what I can do is take it and rest the toothpicks on the edge, and you can see the base is touching the water so that the roots are gonna have water so they can regrow. The top is in the air so the leaves can regrow, and we'll check back in a few days and see what we've got. Now, the reason I love this activity is because, one, you're growing your own produce at home. Usually we go out and buy bunches of scallions or heads of lettuce over and over and over again. But if you could skip going to the store, especially right now, every other trip, and still have that fresh produce, I think that's pretty exciting. The other thing I love is that we're using parts of plants we usually wouldn't eat. You usually don't eat the roots of scallions. We're not usually eating this little nub of lettuce. So if we can find a way to take those things and instead of composting them or throwing them out, bring new life, I also think that's exciting. The final thing that I love is usually when you're coming to the garden, you're not coming every day. So maybe in a week, a lot of growth has happened, but you would be amazed at how much growth can happen each day. Doing an activity like this gives you a chance to observe your plants and watch them grow. A fun activity is taking a picture of your plant every day and then sort of making a slideshow and watching them grow. Until next time!